Hello. Welcome. Running a bit late today. It happens. We're going to be doing some very light game dev. Don't have a lot planned. Just need to get through making some crafting recipes, clean up the crafting UI, maybe make the buttons a little smarter. This is, I guess, we're not implementing anything fancy. We're just making this suck less. This is a suck less stream. I'm very curious as to why this happens. Why does this happen? And when I hit X, it sticks around for half a second. Would love to know why. Oh well. Let's dive in. In order to make the crafting recipes, I need to first have a folder for them. Crafts. Nope, we're going to call these recipes. These are just going to be resources, and they need to probably have a scripts folder, and then maybe we want to have a super type that all recipes inherit from. Maybe we want that, maybe we don't. In order to fully realize this, though, we need to go through all of our items and blocks. We don't have any items, so we're just going to go through all of our blocks. We're going to add a new variable here called name. This can be a constant. This can be a constant too. All of these can be a constant. Is there a way for me to make a constant that it's declared in the super type, but the subtypes set the constant? I know I maybe in C# you can do something like this, and then the inheriting thing can do func init break value equals whatever. It looks like the Godot editor is suggesting that that's not a thing. That's okay. This can't be a constant. This can't be a constant. I'm just paranoid that I'm going to typo one of these names, and I would like the editor to catch that bug. I don't want to have to hit the play button and then the game crashes. And then that's how I realized, oh, I typed it name, but I transposed the M and the E. Dirt. I'm pretty sure this can't be a constant, but let's just... Oh, it can be a constant. Maybe because this is a constant, that can be a constant. Can this be a constant? Oh, it can. Nice. All right. It occurs to me I probably shouldn't call this name because that's going to get confusing because Godot has a namespace on the word name. All nodes are also called names, so we should block name. All right, we have named all of our blocks. That's an important step. We've also, through the virtue of we don't have any items, we've also done this for all of our items as well. So yeah, we made a lot of progress. Now we can go to our UI, our inventory HUD. We've got this messy nonsense. Instead of How does this function work? Oh, okay, here it is. On button pressed. We want that to instead be we're probably going to want to make a separate scene for buttons. Every crafting button we plug into here, we plug into the okay, if I have two buttons, how do I distinguish them in this on button pressed function? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, both of these go here. How do I tell which button is actually calling this? Run into a problem where I've made 90 buttons, but all are relevant. Connect the press signal to a function that accepts an identifier and bind the button's identifier when you connect it. Hey there, welcome. Binding the data in the code. Will this accept me binding? You can always shadow a const in a subclass you define in the superclass. Good to know. Let's test that theory. No, I don't need to make a resource for this. The blocked script. Const. Let me just take all of these, put them here, but we're not going to set them because we're a super type. Class name block data. Don't I need to extend resource? Why don't I need to extend resource here? I'm confused as to how I'm getting away with that. What's this again? Oh, that's a float. Okay, so if we go over here and we extends block data. No, we can't do that. You cannot shadow consts. This is wrong. So that's fine. Back to the HUD. Let me take a drink. Let me spill some water on myself. Be right back 1 second. I'm back. I should have some paper towels at my desk so that I don't make my hands sticky. Oh, when I make a spill. My bad, no worries. We test things and we learn. I wish it worked like that because, like, it makes sense to be able to do things like to define a constant in a superclass and then assign something to it in a subclass. Like that and operator overloading. I really miss both of those, and I don't know why they're not present in Godot. And if the answer is just because no one's had time to write it, that's an acceptable answer. I get it. I hope the answer isn't someone has a bone to pick about those features and does not want them in GDScript. Because, no. Yeah. But that's neither here nor there. I guess we were making these recipes. So we want to have a recipe that turns dirt into grass. Not because I want that in the final product, but because that's a good test case. So we'll call this create grass. Make it grass. No, we'll just call it grass. No, I shouldn't do that. I'm going to hurt myself if I do that. Create grass. This is going to have grass. Let's see if we can. Oh, that's right. I was looking up the button. How do I separate? Not separate. How do I figure out which button I'm pressing? I could just define a different function. No. But maybe if I was doing this in code, I would just create a signal and just bind a parameter to it. That makes sense. I just want to know how to do it here in the editor. Doesn't seem like that's should actually keep reading. Use the toggled signal. It automatically passes a Boolean indicating. Oh no. Getting the sender from the signal. Oh. We can get the button? Oh, we can get the focus. We can get what's focused and go, oh, well, you must have clicked this button because this button is the focused button. Yeah, that's not as elegant. Let's not do that. We're probably not going to use the button here in the editor anyway. I am going to rename this function to, or not rename it, I'm just going to make a new function, func craft. And we're going to take in we should just take in a button, and then in the button, we should assign a recipe to it. And then this function can be responsible for getting that recipe and going, okay, time to do work. You press this button says turn one dirt to one grass. I'll take care of it from here. So pass in a button param. Probably not going to be a button in the long run. I'm probably going to make a subclass. Could I make a subclass in here? Because as an inner class, I could do that. Because it's just going to be a button. We can assign its location based on. Oh shoot! I need to probably add like a HBox container. Your job is to contain all the buttons. We might even need it to make this scrollable. Is this how that works? Where's the scroll bar? It's there? I don't remember how to use a V scroll bar. Godot, how do you use a V scroll bar? You never use a V scroll bar directly. Instead, you want to use a scroll container. Okay, great. I'm glad I looked that up. Cool. Don't rename. I actually want to change type. Okay. We probably want to have this be, sure. I was thinking maybe we want to have this be on the right half of the screen, and on the left half of the screen, we can divide that up between like inventory slots, body slots, maybe like a simple stat window where we could have like your health is at the bottom of the screen, but it's like in picture form, and then we could have the health in like number form here, and maybe food and temperature as well. So we could just reserve this half of the screen for crafting. So in order to do that, I need to actually add another H box container. And then I need to add just a control. Your job is to take up space. That's it. I'm pretty sure there's a way for me to say take up half of the screen. That's not it. One of these is that. Nope. Skeleton option. Nope. Snapping. Is it this? Expand? Huh. Oh, come on. Don't make me have to define the minimum size. You should configure its anchors to use fractional values. Anchors define positions relative to the parent size on a scale from 0.0 to 1.0. Look at the top of the viewport and click the layout. Isn't that what this button is? You got to make the topmost node take up space as well. It's got the whole screen, I thought. Yeah, no, it's set. Unless you mean this one. What does this mean? There we go. Yep. Fair. Okay, so now we just got this is not ideal. It's okay though. We just fill this HBox container. Shouldn't it be a VBox container actually? We just fill this up with buttons. We're also going to fill it up with labels to sort of split apart the recipes. It would be nice to, instead of having the word dirt, have a picture of the block in the button. I wonder if that's possible. You must use a sub-viewport container node inside of the button to act as the rendering bridge. Oh boy. F1 sub viewport container. That is a thing. Okay, so we're, progress. Displaying the contents of a sub viewport. Container that displays the contents of a. Why am I using a sub viewport? Why am I not using this already? Because I'm definitely using a sub viewport down here. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's fair. I can't run the game. I can't save the game while it's running. I can't run the game while it's in progress. This is a sub viewport. Why isn't it a sub viewport container? Did I goof? Create sub viewport. And that's a function that just creates a sub viewport. Oh, this can take multiple sub viewports? Combined size of sub viewports is minimum size unless stretch is enabled. Changing a sub viewport's container control that scale will cause its contents to appear distorted. Change visual size without distortion. Adjust the node's margins instead. How do I use this again? We get a sub viewport container, then we put a sub viewport in there. Is it possible for me to clone a sub viewport? I'm going to assume if I duplicate it, that will clone it. Like this seems to think that I don't want that, but actually that's my entire goal. I want to, wait a minute. No, I don't. No, it occurs to me. The recipes are going to point to blocks that may not exist in my toolbar. And these sub viewports are strictly for toolbar. So I need to make new sub viewports, and I need to put grass and dirt and whatever. I have the functions for those. I can just copy them over. So that's not, I can just copy this invrect. Maybe it shouldn't be an inner class. Maybe it should be its own class. Ooh. But we can copy that. Then we can put it in a sub viewport container. Wait, I don't need to copy it. No, I do need to copy it. Because I need, okay, a sub viewport needs a camera. And we need an item to look at. And we don't need this stack thing. We don't need the offset. Well, we need the offset. Oh, that means, can you not just use a rich text label with a button under it? Well, I can, but I don't know if that helps because I'm still putting a sub viewport into there. That's the hard part, is figuring out the sub viewport. If I'm doing this, then I absolutely need this to be its own class because I've been relying on this static variable to make sure that the offsets don't collide. But that's fine. That's fine. That's not a hard problem. This should be doable. Let's not focus on it yet. Let's actually spin back because we've got this resource recipe that we need to create first. I think I do want to create a recipe. And then I basically want to have 3 functions. Get cost, get benefit, and third function, which is running out of brain power. Function. Just go. Just write code. It's fine. Get cost. We're going to return a dictionary. And then we're going to have a function get benefit. Should this always return an item? No, not necessarily. We should probably return an array of items. What other function? I had a third function in mind. Name? That's actually, yeah, that's probably what I was thinking of. Get label. Really glad I could define these functions. All we need to do now is have an init for... Wait, do resources have an init? I think they do. Okay, sure. Let's make a recipe. We already did. Here it is. Extend recipe. Could not find that. Here it is. Just save. There we go. We don't do any of that. We do func init cost equals no benefit equals okay, label equals cost. If we take our is there like a smart way for me to format this? Because I'm going to have to do it many times. Bear, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. How's it going? How was your stream? Welcome, streamers. We're just cleaning up our placeholder code, and by cleaning up, I mean we're trying to set ourselves up so that we can add a bunch of crafting recipes here. And to do that, I'm making a little resource block so that we can do this quick and efficiently. Cost dot add. I really want to just like define a. Is there a way to define just like dirt one? That's not a thing, right? Is that a thing? Stream is good. How's the jam going? It is going. It is going. We got plenty of time left. But this is close to the halfway point, and this is what we've got. It's not much. This is not much. But we'll get there. We'll get there. It'll come together in the end, as it always does. And when I say come together, I mean there's no promise that it'll be good. But that can't stop us. If this is correct syntax, let me just. No, I'm just gonna let that happen. This actually this won't work because I call it dirt, and that will work because we set ourselves up for that. But I need to go in here and update my prior. That's not an item, that's a string. We're working with strings now, not items. And actually this can just be a string too. This could be a dictionary too, actually. Grass 1. Dirt to grass. 1 dirt into 1 grass. What do you mean? Why is that one the one that fails? Value of type string cannot be assigned to a variable type level. This is a string. I have no business making objects in a resource. That's not what these are here for. We're going to bounce that responsibility up. This is good. All right, now we have a resource. Now we need to make the resource get used by our thing. Those are some words. So we have a button. That button, we're going to just assume that we have a resource. Var resource equals, for now, load here. So we still need to get the inventory component. And then we have the cost. So for cost in recipe dot cost dot keys. half of what I write on stream is to do stuff to things. That is coding. 100% coding. Pure development in its distilled form. It's beautiful, honestly. Poetic. Do thing. That's that. If I could just get away with naming everything in my code do thing, I would do it. Absolutely. What? I've already written this, so why don't I just copy this? Okay. We've got a cost, which is just a string. We need to turn that into nothing. We don't need to turn it into anything. We can just compare strings to strings. We're not comparing blocks to blocks. That's dumb. We're going to take our cost. We're going to set item as block. No. Where am I? Consume cost is taking in an item. This is why I set this as my task for today and didn't set any other tasks, because this is going to be a tangle. Because right now, we're comparing item references, and that's no good. We need to just compare strings, because comparing strings is easier, because I don't have to instantiate a string. Check costs. So instead of a dictionary of this, and this is absolutely going to come over here. Check for item. Oh, we'll get to there. We'll get to there. We'll fix the craft helper first. If the size is 0, return false. Cool. If for every cost in here, the cost amount is equal to that. Oh, we're not. Oh, okay. We're actually done already. Oh, we just need to fix this now. Great. Cost string. Oops. Cost string. Okay, yeah, this is broken. Is same. Oh no. All right. We don't need to check if this is a block or not anymore. We can just promise ourselves we will never name a block and an item the same thing, ever. And we're good. Just never do that, me. I'll remember that. We get the block data dot name. No block name. Oh, I can assign a type to the block data. Why not make the cost input and benefit output store an item? Well, because then I'd have to declare an item. And in order to declare the item, I'd have to create an item, then create a block, then put the block in the item, and then, I mean, that's it. But that's 3 steps, and then this is just 1 step. So that's the main reason. You can export the variables to set them in the editor from resource. Oh yeah, that's true. That would be easier. Can I export a dictionary though? Is that possible? How do I export the variable? So you can make a resource for item data and then like all your items like that, then reference them in the recipe resource. How do I export a variable? Okay, export. The exported variable must be initialized. Oh, wait, that only works in scenes, doesn't it? In nodes. Does it? Can I export in a resource? No. Right click a folder. What am I doing? Resource. Okay. New resource. Okay. Recipe. And then I assume I'm attaching this script to it. And you make an instance of recipe? What does that mean? Oops. Wait, no, come back. How did I do that? Where did the what? Make an instance of recipe. I'm not sure what that means. Create new resource type recipe. Ah. Okay. Resource type type recipe. Was a 7-hour stream, so I'm going to unplug it. All good. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. Unless you meant here. Like that? Is that what you meant? Okay. I don't know how to export though. I'm still stuck. Like I would like for these to be exported. Oh, there they are. Okay. So I can do that, but I would like for them to be exported here now. This is kind of, if I remove this and then I make this a recipe. Ah, there we go. Create grass. Cool. Oh, Ketchup Admirer, thank you for the follow. If now I can set these up this way, and I don't even need this script anymore. We can just throw that away. Yeah. Great. Let me not throw it away just yet, though. Let me copy first. Dirt. Oh, that is a horrible interface. Benefit grass. Does this need to be in quotes? I think it does. You can also do that for block data and item data. Cool. Let me delete this. I don't need it anymore. So theoretically, where did it go? Oh, that's how that works? That's not the... All right, whatever. One dirt. Grass. One grass. Turn one dirt into one grass. Cool. Is this the way it is because I define this as a string? If I define this as an item instead, if I define this as a block instead. Node is only supported in node-derived classes. All right. Got it. That's fine. We can stick with strings. In any case, now we have a cost, and that's just a string. We're just going to get the quantity. Am I crazy? Why can I not see when I'm doing, where am I doing that? Set cost to 1. Oh, am I just passing the dictionary straight into this function and then I'm relying on this function? Okay. Yeah. I guess I don't even need this for loop. We can just pass this directly into this function. This function takes in a dictionary. This function, I think we already fixed this function. No, we didn't. That's where we left off on. Okay. Drop you a follow and we'll leave a lurk. Have a great test to stream. Take care. I would like for tool slot and tool slots, if the tool slot is an item, if it's the same item as the cost. So if we fix this function, everything else should be fine. Right. This doesn't exist anymore. It's just item name. Great. That fixes that. But it doesn't fix this. Invalid argument for is same item. Argument wants to be string, but is item. But it's a string. What? Oh, this is a different function. Okay. Way up here, the item param is taking in add items to inventory. Ooh. I need a function that gives me the item data. I feel like I've said that already. Func get item data. If is block return item core dot block data. else return null, because we're not there yet. Now we can just call item data. Great. Why didn't I do that before? Dot get item data dot block name. Ooh, wait, I can't call it block name. Damn it. If I call it block name, not all items are blocks. That's fine. Okay. Even better. We don't need this get item data function. Get name function. This is not the item. Func get name string. If is block. Oh, wait, no, we don't even need that. If is block. Turn item core dot block data dot block name. Else. Name get. No. Get name is just, that's what I want to call it. Don't reserve that function. Damn it, Godot. Name bean item get item name. Whatever, just return nothing. It's fine. Okay, so we've got this function. Needs to be a string. For tool slot and tool slots, if the tool slot dot item. It looks like it's it. We fixed this function. This function is fixed. And there we go. This is what I was working on before. If item param dot get name, get item name. There we go. Now we fixed everything. Does everything still work? No. Pass. Oh, shoot. I tried to save. Why do I keep doing that? Cost dict not declared in current. Oh, right. I just want to make sure that my code isn't horribly deformed, maimed, and broken. Is that okay? This is what I was looking for. Invalid amount for consume cost. The function should be a dictionary string int, but it's dictionary item int. Yes. Oh my gosh, please. Please. Set item as block. Oh yeah, that won't work anymore, but we don't need this. Actually, we don't need this. We don't need to queue free it anymore. We're not instantiating anything. That's expensive. And we've got a 4-character string. That's cheap. We don't need to add child. Okay, we can still craft dirt into grass. Excellent. that means our code works and we don't need to test it further. And that's perfectly reasonable thing to say out loud. Not tempting fate by saying that, that's for sure. All right, if craft helper.consume cost, we don't have the cost dict because that's supposed to be passed in here. No, that's not true. We're ripping it from the button. Var output equals this. It occurs to me that having the string does not help me in creating the item. So I guess this does need to be a actual string URL to a resource, or not a resource, to a item, to a block. It would be really nice if I could just put the item in here. Let me try that again. Node export is only supported in node derived classes. Fine. Give me that. Give me this. Oh, okay. We're gonna be like that. Copy path 1. There we go. Where am I? Who am I again? What am I doing? Here we go. We have an item. We're going to give it a block, but to give it a block, we need to invent the block. Okay, for var benefit dict to do rip from button, we're going to take the dictionary, count the number of times we need to instantiate each item. So for benefit and benefit dict dot keys. So we have a benefit for I and benefit dict dot get benefit. Oh, I need to put that in a range. All right. Oops. Sure, this is fine. We take this, we apply the magic nonsense that we've been applying to it. And we're done. Yay. All we need to do now is set up our button with this resource, and then we're done. I mean, the painful part is done. Then we have to jam out a bunch of content, but hey, I'm not doing that right now. We're just setting ourselves up for future fun. Let's go ahead and invent this button. We need a new... Does this need to be its own class? If I want the buttons to be able to use inventory recs, it's probably best if I segment this out to be its own thing. Does it need to be its own scene though? Is there any particular reason to make it a scene? I can't think of any. There's probably a very good reason, but I'm not going to do it. Button, recipe button. Introducing this. It extends node. Actually, no, it's going to extend button. We would like it to be called something. Class name recipe button. It needs to be passed in a recipe data. And then we don't need this process, but we do need to connect signals when this is made manifest. How do I... This is when... No, never mind. Never mind. Talk less, code more. Give me a second. Don't need that function. Okay, button has a text because it does, trust me. Source, believe it. Yes, it's called text, okay. I always get text and label, and there's another property that holds text that I don't remember the name of, but I know it exists. We are just going to connect signals, or are we? This could presumably be something that only exists inside of an inv HUD. So we can assume that this on button pressed, or actually this craft function, yes, that makes sense. This craft function exists solely for the purpose of being called by buttons. So oh, I just defined it. Come on. Oh, it's because this function isn't done yet. We need to get the inventory HUD, connect our signal to it, and then we're done. That's it. I just need to, so the hard part is I just need to get this. And I think that is made complicated by the fact that this HUD only exists for a brief period of time, and then I throw it away. I queue free it. So this is not a long-standing, and there's no reason for that. actually, now that I think about it, we can just like spawn it and then hide it. Tell me about this HUD function. Yeah, menu.queuefree. Why is it called menu.queuefree? What happened to HUD? Oh, is HUD a different thing? Oh, why am I doing this to myself? Why do I have a menu variable in my input handler? No. Don't do that. Var imphud. Oh, it doesn't exist. So why am I trying to reference it if it doesn't exist? Instead of this, doing this menu nonsense, game.imphud.visible equals false. Why should this happen? I should make this mouse state a little smarter. I gave it the state menu, but we're actually going to be a little more. Um, Man, it's just painful to look at what was I thinking when I wrote this. What if I make a Boolean take like 5 times as much space and look like I was furiously high when I wrote this? Hmm. I'm thinking, I should leave this alone. I should just not touch this. This is broken. Or not broken, but this is dumb. Uh, and then I should make another enum. And this enum is responsible for telling me which HUD I'm messing with. Oh. Because that was my intention here, was that this is just, we will expand this out, list every single menu, and then just have the mouse state being able to swap between like, this is the inventory menu, this is the skills menu, this is you've opened some random inventory in the world menu, this is the fireplace menu. I don't know. We'll have multiple menus for sure. Oh, we're gonna have like an options menu at a minimum. And the mouse state, I don't know why I'm tracking that in the mouse state. Because the whole point of this mouse state variable is to tell me whether or not the game should capture my cursor. You know what I could do? This is probably dumb, and I'm probably going to regret this a week later. I'm going to go, what the hell was I writing? Was I high when I wrote this? No. I was just really dumb. Let's just have an active HUD, active menu. We're not going to instantiate anything into this variable, but we are going to pass by reference any existing HUD. I keep saying HUD, any existing menu into that. Okay, so something like that. I call it HUD again. God. And the reason that we're doing this is so that, I should also make sure that I'm setting game.envHUD active menu .visible equals true. The reason I'm doing that is so that I can go up here. I can just say active menu .visible equals false. Oh my God, what? Editor, please do not just jam an entire random function. Active menu equals null. We'll do that. Theoretically, this is not going to break anything and actually work perfect the first time I do it. All right, now we successfully turned the dirt into grass. What if we click and we press any key? We're back to playing the game. And if I open the menu again, it comes back. All right, I think this still works. And I didn't go insane. So I'll take that. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was trying to get the recipe button. The whole purpose of this was that I can access the inventory HUD from the game. Now we can. Wait a minute. No, we can't, because that HUD doesn't exist until I press the E button. All right. You know what? New plan. I don't know why I'm waiting to open the inventory to instantiate that HUD. I should just instantiate it immediately. Let's just comment this out. And then let's take the scene that we made for this purpose and just jam it in there and make it invisible. And then we go into the game code and we do on ready envHUD now has a variable. Now we can take all of our buttons, slap them into here when they spawn, and we're good. Hey, Benabin. Welcome. How's it going? How have you been? All right, if I press E, it still works. That means it works. A fact so nice that I said it twice. Pretty good. How are yourself? Doing good. Doing good. Let's make these buttons connect themselves. Input handler has the game. .envHUD. We want to not do this until we have a recipe set. Oh. What if, okay, what if we don't do this in the ready function? We do this in the here. So we get the inventory HUD. We need to add ourselves to the inventory HUD. Dot add child self. No, that's not right. We want to be added like here. We want to be added in this VBox container. Oh, geez. All right. I need that to exist in code so I can save myself a couple of keystrokes. VBox container. And then we want to connect signal. No, we're the one with the signal. Connect signal. What's the signal pressed? Yeah, there it is. To input handler dot game dot inv HUD dot craft. I should not make this have an underscore if I want it to be called. Oh, wait, no, how do I bind? Dot bind. What's the syntax? Oh, that's the syntax? This looks gnarly and gross, and I'm not convinced it's correct. But I wrote it, and Godot is not complaining. So we'll call that a win. We need we need something to create this button. I don't know what. If we make the inventory HUD do it, maybe that's fine. We probably actually don't want to have this add child. We shouldn't make this responsible for doing that to itself. We can just have a thing create a recipe button, assign it the recipe data, and then add it as a child. And then that's all we need to do. We'll do this here in the ready function. I think we're going to have a helper function populate the crafting recipes. This also sets us up for being able to add crafting recipes mid-game, which I'm a fan of. But for now, var button equals new recipe button. Nope, that's not the syntax. Button dot recipe data equals load the recipe. There it is. And finally, we add it as a child. Done. Invalid access to property or key inv HUD on a base object of type nil. Can we just call deferred this? does this work? Nope. The problem is that that variable doesn't exist yet. Ooh. I hate running into this problem over and over again. I'm doing everything in my ready functions, but the order of things getting ready is completely not how my brain expects it to be. So half the time I wish I could just say await if input handler.game.envhud. What do you mean? We don't have a game? When is this variable getting set? Set player. Oh, that's not getting set in the ready. When is the set player getting set? Oh, wait, there's an easy fix. Dumb fix, but easy fix. And dumb and easy is my style right now. So get node. Root game. Wait, can I defer? Can I call deferred here? No, we can't have nice things. That's just not that's just not the reality we live in. Oh, my face. Oh, my face hurts. Oh. Okay. Var game equals get node root game. If game dot is ready. Can I just have one, please, Godot? Can I just have one? How is this returning null? What? I get that the node is not ready, but it's not null. The entire game is connected. How can it be null? How is... can I just do a wait game? No, we have to complain about this now. Oh, sorry, this doesn't exist yet. That's probably because this await isn't doing anything. Can we... Can we just, like, call deferred here? Cannot use directly. You can't do that. Await the next frame. Await get tree.process frame. All right, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Okay, this goes beyond. This cannot be a simple case of we didn't wait for a frame. Game doesn't exist. Okay, that cannot be true. This cannot be true. What are your 11 errors? Can't use get node with absolute paths outside the active scene tree. Node not found root game. All right. Hey. Oh, it even kept the quotes. Oh, cool. It also crashed. Oh, because I never actually set up this function. Smart. That is, I should not rely on these to-dos. Equals button param dot recipe data dot cost. Dot recipe data dot benefit. Oops. That's not the E button. It didn't crash. Didn't work, but it didn't crash. Can I add child button to VBox container already has a parent? All right, let's look at why this didn't work. Are we getting here? Let's find out. Nope. Are we getting here? Nope. No, we're just not getting past this consume costs. Huh. Yeah. Okay. But that shouldn't matter. This cost dictionary should be the same as this cost dictionary. Let's confirm that. Oh, yeah. Dirt 1. Oh, what is this? The quotes? They're ruining me. Oh, jeez. All right. Yep. Thus solving the problem once and for all. Yeah, there we go. Now we can turn dirt into grass. Whoa. And now we should be able to take any recipe easily and make a button for it, which is work in progress, one thing at a time. And then boom. Let's try making a dummy. So this needs 1 grass. And its benefit is 10 grass. And then let's go to our inventory HUD and let's go ahead and add that in. It's kind of hard to believe they use a Godot. Oof. Grass recipe. All right. So, whoops, I forgot to give it a label. Does the button still work? It might. So we turn 1 grass, 1 dirt into 1 grass, and then we crash. Okay. What? You forgot the label. Did I forget the... No? Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, whoops. That is not a string. That has to be this. Copy path. Put that in there. 10. That's going to trip me up forever. I'm going to never stop making that mistake. All right. Yeah. Well, that's not correct, but it's also the number's right. Why did that happen? Okay, we got 5 dirt. Let's turn it all into grass. And then let's turn, there we go. Okay. So it seems there's a bug if I turn something into itself and I only have 1 of it. Then the item slot gets confused. Oh, there's probably a very smart reason for that happening. But this works otherwise. I don't think we're going to be making a recipe that consumes itself to make itself. It's just for testing purposes. This confirms, though, that we can make recipes very easily now. And the way that we've set this up, we can make them on the fly. Good stuff. Let's go ahead and comment that out. What do I want to do now? I can definitely get rid of this button here. I don't need that anymore. We've graduated. No longer need that button. And that means I also no longer need this entire function. Yeah. Progress. All right. What I would like to do is turn the buttons into sub-viewport containers. But I'm not going to do that. Not right now. Not tonight. Starting steps into a data-driven game. This is the beginning. Let me look at the light. So I've got these directional light nodes, and I've got everything as emissive light. I would like for that to not be the case anymore. I think it's time that we pave the way for... If I turn this back on, does it reset? Yeah. Oh, I was setting the texture through that. No. Not anymore. Give me that bedrock. It also occurs to me I probably don't need the bedrock texture. Or the bedrock block at all. Probably not necessary to have that. We can just let the player dig. Turn that off. Nope, that's not the albedo. There it is. Dirt. Grass. I wonder if it's possible. I assume it's possible for me to get the level of light that a block is feeling. Okay, this is with the emissive light off? Really? It looks the same. If I dig like this, oh yeah, there we go, okay. I think the way to solve that is I need to have like a light source attached to the player. Like a little baby one. But also, how do I get the light to be blocked? How do I get this block to block the light down there? Add an environment. Is that a node? A world environment. Ah. Well, that's simple. Wait, is this it? Did I do it already? What happens if I just run it? Oh, that's just solving this. I see. If you go into 3D view, you can see what it is doing. Yep. Sure. Reflected light from the background. I assume this is also how I set the skybox. And I can set the ambient light to come from the sky. And I don't have any light right now. Does that, it doesn't, that the color doesn't make sense. It should be white, right? Or no? Yeah, no. But how was it working before? Because wasn't it black before? Oh, wait. Disable reflected light. This feels like it's not what I want. Hmm. I'm not sure. I need to research. That's fine. But this is a direction I can go in for sure. I can look into adding a sky. I think that's going to go huge in terms of making this game look less like junk instead of just this gray background. And the Godot docs look for 3D lights and shadows. Oh, this is long. Yeah. Uh, see also light number limits. Yeah. Shadow mapping. Tweaking shadow bias. Was there a shadow option? Directional light. I'll read this later. I have this on my to-do list. And then we just gotta jam in content to the game. No, that's almost true. That's almost correct. I would like to add in a couple of texture bars to the HUD. How am I doing that? They weren't attached. No, they were attached to the inventory HUD. So, oh no, they were attached to the quick inventory HUD. Yes. I need to make a VBox container and then attach it to this HBox container. And then attach some texture bars to represent like health, to represent stuff. I'm going to be right back. 1 second. Okay. Add a directional light 3D to add a sun and shadows. I think that's what I had before. I'll figure that out. I'm going to work on one more thing and then I'm going to be done for this stream. We're going to add a experience bar at the bottom. I'm thinking, damn it. I'm thinking we'll put it, why is this offset a little? Why does it feel like, don't worry about it. I'll figure that out. We'll have a bar, green bar here that'll fill up as you gain experience. And then we'll have a little green number above it. That's your level. The bar fills up, then the number increments. That's the entire feature. So the bar itself is just going to be a progress bar. It's just going to be green. And then the number is just going to be a label. We can make like a EXP bar. Change type to bar. Texture progress. Nope, just progress bar. Just progress bar for now. We'll make it green. Can I do that? Can I make it green? Oh, it's huge. Can it not be huge? I don't want it to be the entire universe. Full rect? No, no, we're not a full rect. We actually can be. Kind of thought that would make this expand, but no. We can be horizontally full. We can take up the full length of the screen, sure. But 50. Nope, that's not what I meant. I meant to change the value. Yeah, okay. This is going to become a texture progress bar, but I don't have the art for that. So we'll stick to this for now. And this number is cool, but we're not going to have that number when we switch to the thing. So we're going to add a label. Put it on top. I don't know what these anchors are accomplishing. No, I want it to be in the middle. Bottom middle. But I don't want it to overlap. So in order to do that, I need to make a V box container. And then make this the parent, make this the root node. There we go. There we go. And then we need to center this. Okay. And then, okay, that's the element. We need to add it to the game, which we can, let's create a component for that. Level component. the level component's job is to, I need a script. Var level, var experience, var experience to level. I don't know. This can be a float. This can be an int. This can be a float. On ready, we don't need a process, but on ready, we do need to create the bar. We should probably keep track of that. EXP bar is a control. Nope, it's not a control. No, it is a control. It is a control. We take our XP bar, var exp bar equals load that dot instantiate. Then we need to add it as a child. Yeah, it is that's the right thing. Dot add child exp bar. But I probably don't want to add it there. I want to add it to the env HUD. No, this is the wrong thing. I want to add it to the quick env HUD. How do I, where's this env bar? That's being created by the inventory component, isn't it? Yep. We're adding it as a child, but we're not adding it to the game to, oh no. Yeah, I need a HUD handler. I just need a HUD handler. Yeah, I just need a HUD handler. Let's make a handler. Yeah. We don't get to call these because we're a global now. Your job is to track the HUD, var HUD, and then you need to make sure that when I add things to the HUD that they are ordered correctly. So that means, oh, I have to do that in code? Oh. What if I just, for now, add it to the top of the screen instead of the bottom of the screen? I add it to the game, and then in the future, I'll clean this up because this is not the time for me to be cleaning up code when I'm a little exhausted because there's a likelihood that I do it wrong. I can defer this to the weekend. Let's go ahead and put a to do. And then let's go to the XP bar. Good news, you've been promoted to the top of the screen. Well, that didn't do anything. There we go. That's fine. We'll move on. We've got our HUD. Let's go to our level component. We can just add this as a child there for now because we are. Never mind. Okay. We would like to connect some signals. So every time we update the level, we would also like to update the experience bar label. And that will be made easier if we have a script. Because then we can just do this and this. Level equals X, exp bar dot exp, nope, label dot text equals X, string X. Okay, and then here, experience, oh no, sorry, set X, experience equals X, if X, I should do this check before, if X is greater than experience to level, experience equals X minus experience to level, level plus equals 1, else that, and then we go and we update the bar, exp bar dot exp bar equals dot value. Value, yes. Equals experience. All right, and then down here, set X experience to level equals X, exp bar dot max value. Yeah, equals X. There we go, we're done. We need to add this to the player, add this component to the player. Hey, welcome. Welcome to the chat. I don't remember where that is. It's down here at the very bottom, of course. Slap that in. Let's go ahead and keep all the components together. So now if I hit play, we should have a GUI element. Nope, actually we crash. But imagine if we didn't crash. I don't have the brain power to think about this, so I'm just gonna grab the little kludgy hack that we have. Where did I do that kludgy hack? Here. Oh, I didn't do the hack. Uh-oh. Well, how do I just await this being done? Await. Look what we got, an error. Yeah, there we go. Just needed to wait. We got the XP bar at the top of the screen. Now all we need to do is implement, wait, that's not correct. Why didn't it update the bar value? It's at 50%, but it shouldn't. It should be at 0%. I mean, that's not really fixing it, but whatever. The last thing I want to do is every time you break a block, you get experience. How do I break blocks? I'm pretty sure I have a function, break block. Yep, right here. Okay. Do we have the player? No, it's fine. We can get the player. We're a block. We have a block data. So block data dot. Did you know this isn't a resource? It's actually a block data. Now that it's a block data, break value is probably the variable I want. There we go. Now every time we break a block, our XP should go up. Actually, now we can't do anything. It's probably because I changed this to a block data and it just spilled all of our everything everywhere. Go away. Yep, that block data is empty now. Weird. Really? We're playing this game? I was wondering how. Oh. Why is that on my clipboard? No, give me this on my clipboard. Why am I complaining about my clipboard doing what I told it to do? That's not fair. All right. Invalid access to property key label on a base object. I'm like, no. This doesn't exist? Really? Yeah, it doesn't exist. Why am I doing that? Why do I do this to myself? There we go. Look at that. We're slowly filling up the XP bar. Why is our number incrementing? Why are the wrong numbers incrementing? What even is that number? Are we level 50? I think I know the problem. No, I don't know the problem. Let me see this. Are we level 4? Let me just check the remote. Go into the player. There we are. What level are we? We are level 4. Our experience... Oh. Oh, we set our experience to level... Something silly didn't. No, it's set at 100. Why is our level incrementing? If X is greater than experience to level. Damn it. Why is experience to level 0? Oh, wait. Oh, we're never getting past this. Wait, but I put that there for a reason. Why is it working now? I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. This is too long. Let's set it to 15 seconds. If you break blocks for 15 seconds, you can have a level. And then we'll have that number scale up. You know. Even that might be too slow. Anyway, it works. It works now. Level component added. Level HUD added. Obviously, a lot of placeholders I'm leaving for myself. The number of placeholders is exponentially growing in my game. And we only have 15 days left. 15 days left. Ah, jeez. All right. Well, you know what? Hey. Successful day. Successful day. The number of bugs in the game has decreased. That's a successful day. Let me see who all else is doing anything. Where are we going to go next? Dungeon Pizza. What could that be? I don't know. Well, I will leave it here. Thanks, folks, for watching. Hope you had a good time. Hope your game dev is going well. Hope you're playing lots of fun games. See you all next time.